But this is something I wanted to talk about today because I don't believe in chances. Everything happens for a reason. And I ran across something a while back about Martin Luther, you know, the guy way back in the 1600s. And he was one of these big church folks, you know, that you see a lot of people quoting what he said. I believe he's the father of the Lutheran Church and all that. And I'd seen some time ago that he was the reason that the Quran was printed in English. Okay, and his reasoning behind that was that he wanted everybody to be able to read it and see the ignorance of Islam, okay, which I don't believe that for one single minute. This man had the spirit of religion within him, and he was wanting to spread religion everywhere, false religion, whether it is Islam or false Christianity, okay, because his big deal is by faith alone, by grace alone, solo scriptura, meaning nothing but the Bible. All right? See, nobody had a Bible for like 1,400 years, 300 years, something like that. Now, the Catholic Church had their 50 books that were in Latin, and nobody could read them except for educated priests, and they would tell you what it said and what you had to do, okay? So no one had access to a Bible. You were either led by the Spirit and the voice of God, or you were led by a Catholic priest telling you what to do and what not to do. All right, and then the Reformation came, you know, and King James, he wanted to separate from the Catholic Church because they had beef, and so he created the Church of England. And in order for you to create a religion, a new church, you've got to have a holy book. And so they had this big battle with the Catholic Church trying to get the writings and all that stuff. And Martin Luther played a big role in that as well. All right? So they made sure that you got the Bible, and they made sure that you got the Quran in English so you could read it and get really, really confused, because the letter kills, the Spirit gives life. I was thinking about, you know, the Spirit that was within him. And you know, in the writings of Enoch, we learned that there was 200 or 200 plus of these top angels that come down from Mount Hermon. They had opened up a window or gateway into this dimension, into this world, or a ladder, okay? And they stepped through into our world. And Azazel was one of those, and I did videos, and YouTube got all over me with their algorithm and almost shut me down and threatened to completely delete my channel, so I have to be very careful on how I say this. But Azazel give humans forbidden knowledge, forbidden technology. Okay, remember, forbidden knowledge, technology. All right, Azazel, and he was known as the scapegoat. All right, and he come through, they opened up a gateway to here. Now, you guys all know from 2 or 3 years past, when we all got shut down, there was a key figure named Bill, all right? Shares the same name as I do. My name is Billy, but that name means goat, all right? And the name, his last name, when you shut the gate, okay, wink, wink, nod, nod, okay, that name means gatekeeper, keeper of the gate, all right? And there was a time when Jacob, you know, he laid his head on the rock, his head was elevated, and he began to dream, all right? And there were angels ascending and descending down, and in that passage there, it talks about how through Jacob's lineage, the world would be blessed, okay? So what it was showing you, God showed me in a revelation on this one time, is the angels, and that word for descending means to fall or be cast down, all right? cast down into this lower level of consciousness, taking on human form through the lineage of Jacob, living their life, wrestling with God, coming to know God, because the lineage of Jacob is Israel, right? Coming to know God and ascending back up the ladder, all right? And whenever Jacob woke up, he said, surely, he was scared. It was a reverent fear, all right? And he said, this place is awesome. This is the gateway, the gate to heaven. And what was he talking about? Where he was laying, had his head on the rock, the gateway of heaven was there, right? The kingdom of God is within you. When he was laying there, he was having this vision. He wasn't talking about the physical place where he was at being a doorway or a gateway, all right? He said, this place is the gateway to heaven. Us. Don't you know your body is the temple of God, okay? So it's a gateway. And Bill's name means gatekeeper. Someone who maybe he can determine who goes in and who comes out, all right? So someone that would have a plan to close the gates in the world. Part of the 200's punishment for walking through that window and tempting mankind was they were bound here for all eternity. Can't go nowhere. They can't go into heaven. They're stuck in this realm. And this place, it is a hologram, okay? It's a holographic universe. I know I sound crazy, all right? But the mathematics prove it, all right? And right now we've got Facebook Meta, the Meta world, all right? And it's a virtual world, all right? And they're even talking about having jobs in the metaverse. People will go there and live in the virtual world and work, and then at night come out of the goggles, okay? And eventually they will put people inside, all right? There's nothing new under the sun. What has been done before, it's happened, okay? That's what has already happened to us. This is where we're at. Whatever you can think of, it's already been done. We're inside. So these guys that were bound here, what they do is they have to have a human form, all right? So they try to live in these bodies as long as they can, because when they die, they're going to take on another human body, be born here, put in a mother's womb again, and come back. But they always have total recall. They know who they are, all right? And they go straight back to working their mission, all right? And the guys, Dr. Fawcett, you know, the water faucet, you know, the guy, I did a video on him. I hate talking in code. His name means sickle. All right, you know, like the Grim Reaper sickle is the angel of death, okay? And him and the gatekeeper were working together to bring around this spiritual death to people. All right, the reason I'm talking about these guys, everybody knows them, but a lot of people don't know Martin Luther. But these big religious spirits that ruled the world, still rule the world, are part of those 200 that are bound here. All right, and they have been trying to shut the gates of heaven for centuries. All right, they finally had to let their science catch up.